Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host, and today's episode is on a roadmap to your inner goddess embodiment. I've been getting requests about the roadmap as to what to think of, what to be aware of, what are the markers to know I'm on track, and so I keep weaving in these roadmaps. And so today is a really fun way of explaining through tarot cards how you want to think of your inner goddess embodiment. And I think that it's going to be fun with these tarot cards because this is also going to be helpful for my visual learners and any and all of you who are joining us here via audio. I will be describing what I am showing and what I am holding up. But first of all, before we dive in, hello, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, how are you? I hope you are well. It's been a little bit of time since I was here. I skipped the last 2 weeks. And it was really amazing. It was really amazing. You know, I really gave myself permission before this summer. I was like, I am going to have an amazing summer because I can just work. And that's what I've done the last few years. But this year I was really like, nope, I'm going to enjoy my summer. I'm going to have the best summer, and I am having the best summer. I hope you are as well. And just know if there's going to be another episode skipped, you know, it's an invitation for you to go have fun. It's important. And that's also going to be a part of this spread that we will be looking at in terms of the roadmap. And, just to quickly also dive into the astrology, we are coming up to the 8-8 portal, the Lionsgate portal, and we are also in eclipse season. We've got the first eclipse coming up on August 12th. So do yourself the favor. And I am walking my talk. I am breathing through my subconscious to feel whatever storage, whatever suppression is still in there daily. Why? Because this is the biggest time for manifestation, but not just manifestation, for ascension. It's been coming in high vibrational daily. I'm watching the Schumann resonance, and it's blank, white, blank, white, blank, white every single day. So this is the time to really get it out, really get out whatever suppression is still in there, whatever you haven't healed, whatever you haven't felt, whatever you haven't acknowledged, whatever you haven't said. It's time, and the time is now. It's now, because once we've passed through this Lionsgate portal and we are in these eclipses, you want to be as light as possible. You want to be as light-hearted as possible. You want to be as open and fearless as possible, because remember, the golden rule about eclipse season is to let go and let light. Because this is the time when you will be course corrected. This is the time when you will be up leveled to highest timelines. This is the time when your higher self is very, very, very directly working with these high frequencies and the divine orchestration. So trust yourself, trust your timing, and most importantly, on the physical level, on the human level, do everything you can to clear yourself, to be as light and open, as grounded as possible. Good. All right, my gorgeous. Let's dive in. Now, why tarot cards? Because I love tarot cards. I do not give personal readings, but I do read for friends, for my daughter. She loves it. I read for some clients, but I really don't need tarot cards because I do have 100% psychic ability. But I collect tarot cards. I collect the decks. And so it's just, I can sit there and shuffle them and play with them for hours. It reminds me of many other lifetimes where that was my form of divination. And so today we will be using the Light Seers Tarot deck. I don't know if you can see it. So the Light Seers Tarot is, the illustrations are just so on, so spot on, so empowering and so powerful. And let me start with what of course this is all my and my goddess's interpretation, right? So when we look at the tarot cards, I am holding up the Empress and I am holding up the High Priestess. This is the High Priestess, and you can see the High Priestess is open, right? She's open through her higher chakra space. She's open through her upper self into spirit, and it almost looks like as if she's one with spirit. And then we're looking at the Empress. And the Empress, this is a beautiful depiction of the Empress. It's a woman, and her pregnant belly is the earth, the new earth. And so these two, the High Priestess and the Empress, together make up your goddess, your inner goddess, not some other entity. No, your inner goddess. Because remember, every woman is a goddess within, not to claim without the correct healing and work into this space, right? So not every woman just gets to say, I'm a goddess, I'm a goddess, I'm a goddess. No. Things here on earth are not handed to us. Everything we get to claim we've worked for. And so inner goddess embodiment is not something to just be, light about. It is actually true, deep commitment. And it is possible. And this is ascension. This is new earth birthing. And in order for you to think of yourself as your inner goddess, because, oftentimes it's perceived as this unattainable, far away goal, but it really isn't. And I'm going to exactly explain to you why it is completely attainable and it's not far reached at all. So you want to think of yourself as the embodiment of your Empress and your High Priestess. Now, let's get into why. And I am going to start with the Empress first. Any and all of you who know about tarot, and even if you don't, we'll explain it. In order to achieve Empress status, you have to have mastered all of your queens. And this is the same for the men. Any masculine watching, in order for you to claim your emperor status, you have to also have mastered all of your kings. And so here I am holding up the 4 queens. We're holding up the Queen of Swords. We're holding up the Queen of Pentacles. We're holding up the Queen of Cups. And we're holding up the Queen of Wands. And all of these 4 queens make up your Empress. You cannot be an Empress if you have not yet mastered all of the 4. And we're going to dive into this because, as you can probably already tell, I'm not talking about getting to know your guides or channeling or even your awareness of your sensory, of other dimensions. No, no. Because it's all about the body, being in the body. And your goddess acclaim happens through your full embodiment, full mastery of all of your queens happens through the physical. This is all about you claiming your life, your experience, yourself fully in this body. This is not about leaving the body. This is not about anything other than really understanding that it's through this vessel, this temple, this body that you ascend. It's not about getting out of here. It's not about, the ability to travel multidimensionally. Not at all. As a matter of fact, that would be that good old woo-woo, spiritualists have their head up in the clouds and are ungrounded. So that will be that example. It's great to build capacity to do all these other things, but none of it matters if the physical aspects aren't mastered. Now, in one hand, I am holding the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. And this is actually the masculine energy. And we'll get into it in much more depth, don't worry. So this is actually the masculine energy of yours. This is the masculine side of you. It's the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. And then these two queens, this is actually the feminine side of you. This is the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, right? So again, here's the balance. We must not only master all of the human earthly aspects, but this is also, again, the balance within. It always comes back down to the balance. And there is no way around it. No way around it. So let's go ahead and let's start with the masculine side. Let's start with the masculine side. And so now I am holding up the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Let's start with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is basically your mind. It's your brain. It's your thinking. And this picture of the Queen of Swords, she's sitting here and she's in what seems to be deep contemplation. But she's very calm. She's almost in a meditative trance-like state, right? Just maybe she's resonating, maybe she's contemplating, maybe she's deeply, deeply, deeply in a higher vision or thought. See, the mastery of the Queen of Swords. Yes, it's the brain. Yes, it's the thinking, right? She's not pacing up and down with anxiety, letting her thoughts run the show. No, clearly she is in control of herself, of her brain, of her thinking, and that is one of the most important parts to this mastery. You have to be in charge of your thoughts. You must be the boss of your brain. You get to choose when to think, what to think, and how to think. Otherwise, you're not in mastery. And then, of course, as she shows herself in that mastery of clarity of mind, of conscious control over her thoughts and mind and perceptions and beliefs, of course, she's also able to, set boundaries, right? This is the masculine energy. Remember, the mental body is the most outer body of your auric field, all the way surrounding your auric field, which means this is your protection. Your masculine energy Your Queen of Swords is your protector. You, in your mastered Queen of Swords, you set boundaries for yourself and others. You control your thoughts. You are in charge. You speak your truth. You voice yourself. You take no BS. Unacceptable. You hold yourself in such high regard and such mastery that you are fully in control of yourself, and you are able to command that respect because your boundaries are so clear. They don't even need to be spoken. They're felt. They're known. They're understood. Okay? This is your Queen of Swords. This is the mastery. And then, of course, you in that clarity of mind. Clarity of mind, of course, is everything, because when you are in your clarity of mind, you are aware of any and all energies coming in. You are aware of which of your old patterns or triggers come in. You recognize those energies, those voices, those sensations immediately. And because you're in your mastery, you're able to recognize it as just another layer of something old. And you pass it right through, you breathe it right through, right? So this is you in your Queen of Swords. And this is, by the way, not dark feminine. I can't stand when people are saying dark feminine because you're speaking your truth, because you're setting your boundaries, because you're claiming your worth and you're protecting yourself. What is dark about that? Nothing. Nothing. We need to stop naming, labeling power as dark. It's not dark. It's authentic empowerment. It's you being in charge of yourself, of your energy, of your peace, of your mental landscape, and therefore able to resonate deeply, therefore able to use your brain, use your mind space very intentionally. And there's nothing dark about it. Don't you ever, ever, ever think that this is your dark side. This is not your dark side. This is your truly, authentically empowered and embodied side. This is your masculine side. Okay? Okay, good. Let's do the other masculine energy, and this is the Queen of Pentacles. And so the Queen of Pentacles, she sits here with a coin, a large coin in her lap. And she's also looking very peaceful and very content. And if you look at her head, you can see that it's almost as if she's growing antlers or roots out of her head. And this is because the Queen of Pentacles is in her earthly, in her body. It's not just about money because there's a pentacle. No, you in your Queen of Pentacles, you are taking care of your vessel, of your body. You're taking care of your home. Yes, you're taking care of your pentacles too. You're taking care of your money. You know that money is energy. You know it does need attention, as all things that matter to you in your life. And so you're not an overspender. You're also not an underspender, right? You're not contracting or being reckless with finances. No, you in your Queen of Pentacles, you have mastered your independence. You have mastered yourself in your security. You can take care of yourself. And this is important. You must master all of the queens, and this is very important because a woman, a goddess, cannot be dependent on a man. She cannot be in the needing energy, needing him for anything. It will never be a healthy relationship, right? So yes, of course, if you are choosing to have children and you're choosing to stay home with them, then that is an agreement that is understood in terms of this is your contribution, right, to the family unit. But it does not mean you're needy or dependent, right? You are in your fullness because you know you can take care of yourself. You know that you don't need anybody or anything. And that knowing, that vibration in and of itself sets you free to be and stay in your worth, even when you are not making money, even when you are, not out there following your mission or whatever, right? So, because this is where it's very important to hold your vibration in your worth, in your self-worth, right? That you've got yourself always and no matter what. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles, feeling abundant, sitting in your worth and fully embodied into the earth. And, and I love these antlers or these roots, whatever it is that's coming out of her head, because it shows that, she's one with the earth. She is the earth, right? She is deeply, deeply grounded and secure in herself and in her worth. And that's you in your Queen of Pentacles. Now, these are, the masculine energy, right? So this is all of the masculine energy, right? Thinking correctly, making sure you're taking care of yourself, feeling secure in yourself, knowing who you are, knowing your worth, setting your boundaries, speaking up for your needs, for your truth, for your clarity, right? This is all healthy, masculine beauty embodied. And there is nothing dark about it. It is you being in your authentic empowerment. It is who you are meant to be. Good. Let's go to the feminine side. Feminine side. We've got Queen of Cups and we've got Queen of Wands. Let's start with the Queen of Wands. You mastering your Queen of Wands, you being in your magic. And so as we're looking at this depiction, she's very playful, right? She's having a lot of fun. And there's energy coming up from her hand and she's holding this wand and, there's fire down here. And so the Queen of Wands is very fiery. It's passion, right? So whenever you get a wand card, it's passion, and it is sensuality, and it is sexuality. But remember, it's all of the second chakra. It's also intuition. It's also creativity and creative flow, right? So she's all that. She's all that. And the important thing here, though, is to notice the magic, because there is some dust, some energy, some frequency, something coming off of her hand, right? And this already shows that she's in her feminine energy, right? Because you have to be in your feminine energy to be in your creative flow. You have to be in your feminine energy for the passion. You have to be in your feminine energy for the sensuality and sexuality. You have to be in your feminine energy to enjoy and play, right? And this is what I've been doing. I've been focusing on my Queen of Wands to play, right? Remember the 3-part balance for the goddess: work, rest, play. And so this is a very important part to the play. And I just want to share this quickly with you. Just taking just a few steps back and just having fun and saying yes and being out and about and going dancing and going to the beach and, just allowing myself to be a little bit more. the sense of liberation and the sense of inspiration that has been coming in just because I've been focusing on play, just because I've been focusing on joy. I feel like I'm brand new. I feel like I'm reborn. So, so, so important. So, so, so powerful. Never to be underestimated. To focus onto your play, your joy, your fun time. And also, of course, on the magic, right? Because intuition and playtime is feminine energy, is being in the flow. That's a big, big, huge part of goddess. You have to make time for your playtime. You have to make time to be in your flow and not worry about anybody or anything, and just be and do what you feel and enjoy yourself and your energy and your life. Goddess celebrates her life, and that's the Queen of Wands. She's a spitfire. She just loves life, and that is a big part of bringing in the inspiration, the creativity, the ideas, the downloads, right? The inspiration. If you're ever feeling stuck, you're not playing enough. You're not having fun enough. So to make time for yourself in this way is hugely, hugely important. That's you in your Queen of Wands. Now let's come to the Queen of Cups. And so I'm holding up the Queen of Cups, and she is sitting in water. So up to her waist is water. And there are even some fishies here. And so she's sitting in water, and she's also up above her. There is energy, right? There is vibration. It's up above her. It almost looks like a little bit of an outer body, like an auric body here. But again, it signals, to master your Queen of Cups means that you are in your feminine energy, right? This is emotions. The Queen of Cups is all about emotions and feeling. And yes, of course, it's about the open heart. But in this depiction, what I find very important and so smart is that she's sitting in water. Now the water is the depth, right? It's the subconscious. And like I said, I've been feeling through my subconscious daily now in preparation for the 8/8 portal and the eclipse. Because we have a lot of suppression in the subconscious, right? From all of the lifetimes, everything that we didn't get to process is still in there. It's in the subconscious. The subconscious comes along with the soul into every single incarnation, and it's this filing cabinet for any and all of the experiences and the storage, the suppression. And so to be so open to yourself, to be so fearlessly in your feeling, to embrace your emotions, to process them without even flinching, that is when you master your Queen of Cups. You must master your Queen of Cups, because as you can see, it opens you, right? It opens you into more of yourself, into some sensory, into some other outer body energies and vibrations and consciousness. So it's not just about the feeling of emotions or the open heart and having compassion and you being a loving being. No, it is also to really go deep and to really be fearless about your emotions and to feel them, because the more that you feel your emotions, the more you're opening up into the sensory, right? And so I'm holding up both of the feminine energy cards now, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And these two then inspire your High Priestess, right? Because the High Priestess is you really being so opened. It's you being so opened through your sensory, through your sight, through your knowing, your feeling, your sensing, right? You are the channel. You are the divine playing human in the human form. And so it's so important for you to realize and to recognize that this High Priestess, this is going to happen naturally. This is going to happen intuitively. This is going to come forth as your soul sees fit. You don't have to train yourself in psychic abilities. You don't have to train yourself in your ability to journey. You don't have to train yourself in your sensory. You can, but the mastery of all of your queens, this is where it's at. This is exactly where it's at. Because when you are able to balance and master both your masculine and your feminine energies, and you are in control of your thoughts, you are the boss of you, you're the master of your mind, and you are able to set your boundaries and protect yourself and honor yourself and live from that place, and you've got your finances set and you're in front of it and you're tending to your finances and you're tending to your body and you're one with Mother Earth and you're deeply grounded in your responsibilities of your body, your home, your finances, your work, right? This is you healthily embodied. And then the other balanced side of your feminine energy, right? You feeling fearlessly and, of course, trusting your intuition, following your intuition, right? Both of these cards, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups, are all about feeling, because also the Queen of Cups, right? Second chakra. It's the flow, it's the creativity, it's the inspiration, but it's also the intuition. It's the gut, it's the instinct, it's the knowing, it's the feeling, right? And when we follow that intuition, when we follow it and trust it, we stay in the flow. We stay in the creative flow. We stay in the inspiration. We stay in our exuberance as the divine light being, as the inner goddess. And when you have embodied and mastered your intuition, your sensualities, your sexuality, which also of course includes not to give it up to just anybody, anywhere, at any time, right? Goddess sees her womb, her temple, as absolute sacred ground. Doesn't mean she's not gonna have fun when she's with a person where she can feel safe and trust, right? But make no mistake, I don't understand, what some women think they're doing when they're saying they can be like men and they can feel like men and that's equality. I don't think that's equality at all. I think that's really shutting down the goddess within, so your vulnerability and your sensuality needs to be protected by your masculine energy, by your Queen of Swords. Your vulnerability and your playfulness must be balanced with your Queen of Pentacles, right? We're not here to just F off, and we're not here to only work and never even see life for the beauty it is. No. all of these queens work together. They all balance each other. You are every single one of these queens. And when you have mastered every single one of those queens, that's when you will naturally be the Empress, and the gifts and the abilities that you are supposed to have in this lifetime will come forth naturally. You don't even have to worry about it. And like we've already said, listening to your intuition, following your intuition, feeling your emotions, trusting yourself, that is already a part of the mastery of the queens. Anything above and beyond your intuition will come forth naturally. It'll be a part of your ascension. It'll be a part of your evolution. And many are noticing how their abilities are strengthening, intuition sharpening, when you are really working on mastering all of your queens. Not only do you feel like the Empress, but your High Priestess will open up. Intuition will sharpen. All of a sudden, gifts come in. Also, when you've mastered all of your queens, this is also the time when more protection comes in, right? So when you have mastered yourself and your light embodiment, you have tremendous light protection. And I'm not kidding you. Light protection is not something that you get just because you start the path. Again, we do have to earn it in order to claim it. We have to heal, we have to feel, we have to protect, we have to be in mastery of the mind, of our lives, of our intuitive flow, and of course our emotional connection, and including the subconscious. But when we are in that kind of mastery, where all aspects of us are nicely open and loved and present and balanced, the light protection that comes in is something else. It's absolutely magical. Like things just bounce off. People's bad energies bounce off. People sending spells or curses, they bounce off. You being taken out of a bad route onto a safer route. I mean, the level of protection and support that happens when you're in your mastery, in your light, in your openness, in the fullness of your being, forget about it. And it's very true. Actually, one of my goddesses in my program, she's been doing really well. And so she's made it to the Temple of Powers, where she got to meet Mother Goddess and where she had her initiation. And, Mother Goddess even acknowledged to her, we're now going to start setting protection in to place. And so she's got her first initiation of her protection, and that strengthens and grows and continues to thicken and strengthen more and more and more and more, right? Because once you're in your embodiment and once you're in your balance, then you're going to start being on your path of complete, peaceful trust and surrender and mission, right? So now you're fully of service to the divine, fully of service to the light, as the light, with the light, for the light. So one more time, in our goddess embodiment, it's all about being in this body, in this reality fully. There are no bonus points for leaving the body. There are no bonus points for, having outer experiences, even though sometimes it can assist the process, and if it does, it will. But the key is to master every single aspect of your life, to be the creator of it fully. And as we're up leveling and as we are upgrading, of course, we upgrade with it, right? Work expands, love expands, life expands, and we continue to level up with it. But once you're in the awareness of the mastery, it's very easy to continue to level up with it nonstop. Okay, good. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had fun with this. I sure did, especially when I thought of it. I was like, oh, yes, let's bring in tarot cards. And let me know how you are doing with your mastery of the different aspects of your life. Where are you still struggling? Where do you want assistance? Where do you have questions? Let me know in the comments. And as always, I am sending love and light blessings to you and yours. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your presence on this channel. And I'm sending love and light blessings to you and yours. Ciao.